My name is Laura Figueroa. This is Chapter 7 describing the major functions of bones. We will begin by getting an overview of the bones and their functions. In addition to providing a framework for our body in the form of our skeletal system, bones have many functions. They protect our vital organs and allow us to move. They also provide an environment for bone marrow where the blood cells are created, and they act as a storage area for minerals, particularly calcium. There are 5 types of bones in our skeletal system and are composed of 2 different types of tissue. So what does a type of bone and its composition have to do with their function? Well, that is because their different shapes and composition relate to their particular function. So let's begin by identifying the 5 different types of bones in the human skeleton. First, we have long bones, which are longer than they are wide. Some examples include the femur, humerus, and the bones in the fingers and toes. Short bones have very equal proportions and are roughly cube-shaped. Some examples are the bones in the wrist and ankles. Flat bones aren't actually flat. They are slightly curved and thin. Examples include cranial bones, scapula, and ribs. Irregular bones have complex shapes. Examples of these are the bones in our face, pelvic bones, and vertebrae. And last, we have sesamoid bones, which are embedded in the tendons and are small and round. They are found mostly in the tendons of the hands, feet, and knees. Now let's talk about the 2 different types of tissue that compose bones. First, we have compact bone, which is composed of many closely packed layers of bone tissue. It contains a central canal called a haversian canal that runs through the length of the bone. This canal allows blood, vessels, and some nerves to reach the inside of the bone. Spongy bone resembles a honeycomb, and it contains cavities that hold the red or yellow bone marrow. Spongy bone isn't as dense as compact bone. With all this information, let's now go over the functions of the bones. The first function we will be talking about is support. Without bones, we would be a limp mass of organs, muscle, and skin. Our bones define the shape of our head, face, thorax, and limbs. Long bones support the weight of the body, and some short bones provide stability. Next, we have movement. The interaction of bones and muscles are responsible for the wide range of movements in the body. Spongy bone is important for movement as it makes us light enough to be able to move. It also absorbs the shock and stress caused by movement. Some of the bones that contribute to movement are long, short, and sesamoid bones. Another important function is the protection of internal organs. So bones protect many of our internal organs from injury by covering or surrounding them. Flat bones like cranial bones and ribs protect the brain, heart, and lungs. Irregular bone like vertebrae protect the spinal cord. We will be moving on to the production of blood cells. Many of the cells in the blood, like red and white blood cells and platelets, are produced inside the bones. This process is called hematopoiesis, and it occurs in the red bone marrow of spongy bone. With age, some red bone marrow will be replaced by yellow bone marrow. And the last function we will discuss is storage. Important inorganic mineral salts like calcium and phosphorus are stored within the bone. Other inorganic salts that are stored in the bones are magnesium, sodium, potassium, and carbonate ions. These inorganic salts can be released back into the bloodstream as needed. Yellow bone marrow in the spongy bone stores fat, which can be broken down and serve as a source of energy. This concludes the description of the major functions of bones. Listed here are the references I use to obtain my information, as well as pictures from. Thank you.